The team at Mirandus is trying to do something absolutely crazy, and if it works, it's going to be so cool, so awesome, so immersive, and just add so much quality to the gameplay. But if it doesn't work, it's going to be a super annoying game feature that is going to make people want to just avoid the game. So, what am I talking about? They want to do completely away with text chat and have voice chat only. So, that's going to be something pretty cool. Voice chat's been around for a while, but not exclusively in games. And I got so much to talk about with it. But first, if you're a fan of Mirandus, then you're in the right place because that's all we talk about here. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future Mirandus videos. So the team at Mirandus, they want to completely do away with text chat, and that's kind of cool. So you're not going to have like gold spammers spamming the chat there, and you're not going to have like a bunch of UI cluttering half your screen with people chatting and talking in there. Everything in the game is going to be voice. And that also means you can't talk to people halfway around the world because they won't be able to hear. I mean, physically the world, yes, they can hear you, but the world of Mirandus, they won't be able to hear you. You'll have to be in the same proximity in game for somebody to be able to hear you and for you to talk to them. So that's kind of cool. So just imagine you and your buddy, you're out there slaying goblins and stuff, and you're actually saying like, "Hey, I need help over here," or "Hey, can you heal me, please?" Instead of typing it out, instead of reading it, like you're hearing it, you're talking it, and stuff like that, and that is just going to bring the next level of immersion to the game. So get this. Mirandus is already in first person point of view, which typically in MMORPGs I like third person point of view. But I do gotta say, playing in first person, especially when I got Skyrim on the PS5 and I got the VR headset, there is nothing more immersive than that. And just playing in first person, you're already so much more immersed in the game. And then you're going to be in first person, not reading any chat, but you're going to be hearing and you're going to be talking, adding more senses. It's going to be that much more immersive. And when people are immersed in video games, especially like MMORPGs, where they're playing with other people and you're immersed in the world, in the game world, like it's a very powerful feeling. And that is going to be absolutely awesome. And they also want to do some other cool features with this. So, like, for example, if you're in an open field, it's going to sound different than if you're enclosed in a cave or a dungeon or something. If you're in a cave, they want to have like the echoes bouncing off the wall and stuff like that. If somebody's far away versus up close, it's going to sound different like that. You walk into the town, you might hear the murmurs of conversations of going around you, just like you would walk into a town in real life if there's people standing around having conversations. So that's pretty cool and that's pretty powerful. And it is going to help clear up the UI. And I think the clearer the screen and the more you can just focus on the game, that adds another level of immersion as well. And then another feature they're going to add to this is like a voice changeover. So let's say you're an orc or a halfling or a dwarf or whatever, they're going to have like a change to where your voice will match the exemplar that you're playing with, which is pretty cool. And they also want to make it to like you could be a female dwarf and you would sound different, or you could play, a female halfling and sound different like that. So you could be male or female, and then whatever race your exemplar is. And I believe that's going to be optional. And if it's not, it definitely should be optional because that's not going to be the cup of tea for everybody. But for the people who really want to role play their character, um, that is a pretty cool feature. And when you're playing with your buddies and stuff, like you get to know whose voice is whose after hearing them for several hours day after day playing together. But if you're in a group of strangers and you suddenly hear a big giant orc, you know it's going to be the big giant orc, or you know it's going to be the female dwarf next to you. So that's going to kind of help you recognize the voice of strangers based off of what they sound like that. So if that works, it'll be really cool. Now, there are some downsides of it. If me and you are standing here having a conversation, I'm like, hey, how much I got all this wood here that I gathered. How much are you going to pay me for it? And I have a third dude just standing there like, eh, just like really annoying sounds or whatever they're doing. Like they're not part of our conversation, but they're staying right next to us being annoying. How's that going to work? Are we going to be able to mute them? If not, there should definitely be a mute feature. Let's say this guy is a ghost spammer, or if he's just standing around in town blabbering nonsense or spamming or doing whatever he's doing, going around insulting people and like following somebody insulting them, like you should have a mute feature. And if that's not going to be a thing, it definitely needs to be a thing. Another feature that would be really cool to add that if it's not going to be added is being able to toggle like guild chat only or party chat only. So when your party, like the people in your party are talking, you can hear them, but all the other strangers around you, it's just silence. That would be really cool because that way other people can't really interrupt you, or or you can only hear your guild members, something like that. They are gonna need to do some kind of implementation of that, or else it could be abused by just really annoying players. You know what I mean? Um, and then the mute button definitely needs to be a thing. Another issue I could see with this is let's say like you and your buddy are creeping down a dungeon and let's say you're trying to get to this chest that's behind the boss and you're a little too weak to fight the boss, so you're going to try to sneak in there and then like his nagging mother or nagging girlfriend or somebody comes in, hey, how come the dishes ain't done? Blah 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 blah. Do this, whatever. And then suddenly this whole room full of goblins you were trying to sneak by hear that commotion, and now you guys are dead. That's going to be super awkward for him, super embarrassing, and it's just going to be an annoying feature because that noise, that sound wasn't supposed to be in there. However, somebody outside of the world of Mirandus kind of impacted that on you. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that or if that's just something that may happen. Um, but then one of the biggest issues that I know is going to happen is in the summer, it gets hot and at least half the players are going to have a fan blowing right on them. And when there's a fan right before this video, I actually had a fan going back there, and it wasn't really interrupting me too much because this is supposed to be noise canceling. Just in case, I turned it off because I know how annoying it can be for a fan blowing directly on a mic. And come the summer, that's gonna happen. And so, how are they gonna deal with that? I don't know. But also, what about the people who don't have mics? You just can't chat. Like you can hear people, you can follow directions, you just can't talk to them. I don't know. You won't be able to text, you won't be able to type stuff out. So I don't know how that's going to happen. There's definitely some things they need to work out. This is still a work in progress. Come this playtest, maybe they'll be working on it as we go and we can find out some of this information. I definitely think it's really cool what they're trying to do. And if it works, it's going to be absolutely amazing, very immersive, and a pretty unique feature to have in an MMORPG. But there are a lot of issues they still need to work out. And until we know what those solutions are to those issues, I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. Because if those things do become a problem, it's going to turn people off to the game, and we don't need people to use this as an excuse to not play the game. You want as many players as possible. So that's something to think about, but it's really cool. And I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Are you excited about this voice chat? Are you kind of wary about it because of the issues I brought up? Let me know. And then if you want to watch more Mirandus videos, get caught up on Mirandus news, watch my daily tips because I'm posting new Mirandus tips every single day until the playtest. And if you don't want to miss out on that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video.